Here with Louisiana Lafayette, we have head coach Michael Latif, Christina Hamilton, Lexi Elkins, and Natalie Fernandez. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Latif.
The first thing, and I spoke with our NCAA reps, what an awesome event. And the improvements and the changes and the energy surrounding our sport now is really phenomenal. You know, it's better than it's ever been. And it's because we got people on the front line every day fighting for the sport, fighting for opportunities for female athletes, fighting for equity, and it's getting better. Are we there yet? No, but we're making progress. And this was a phenomenal experience. Every little girl ought to have a chance to experience this. I'm proud of my kids. I'm so proud of my kids. And I'm proud of, first of all, who they are. You know, in y'all's world, it's about what they do or whether they win or not. But in my world and in my life, it's about who they are and how they do it. And these kids are winners. And they're winners in how they go about their business day by day. They're winners in how they care and love each other and fight for each other. They're winners in how they take care of their business in their classroom. They're winners in their values and how they too want to make a difference and impact this world. So we didn't play our best softball the last couple of times. Sure, it had something to do with the venue. Sure, it had something to do with the opponents. Sure, it had something to do with the crazy coach. But our kids made us proud, and you know, it's been a magical, phenomenal year. I'm proud of our fan base, proud of Lafayette, Louisiana, the Cajun people stood behind these kids and believed and loved them and supported them and cared for them. And, you know, it's always tough when your season ends because our dream is to hold that trophy. But when we look back and we gain some perspective on really how we've learned and grown throughout this season, and because of the season, we're going to be proud.
Thanks, Coach. We'll now go to the floor for questions.
Chad Washington, Lafayette Daily Advertiser. Christina, you had a great effort out there, but you know, you just tell me about how that last inside the park home run that just really was just the one that kind of broke the straw that broke the camel's back off for you guys. But you had strong performance. But tell me about how that one kind of got away.
I feel like she just put the bat on the ball and got a good shot and got lucky, honestly. Got a low air on the bases.
Matt Harris, the advocate. This is for Lexi and Natalie. Obviously not the weekend of hitting that you guys wanted. Was it a way teams were attacking you guys at the plate, or was it your all's approach? Just, I know this is kind of an outlier in terms of what you guys had done all year, so I'm just kind of curious what you think the root cause might have been over the past couple games.
I don't think it was the way they're going at us. I mean, we trusted our preparation. We trusted what we learned. I mean, again, just like Kentucky, it wasn't our game. Things weren't going our way. I don't think mentally or physically we were altered by anything. It just wasn't our game.
Tom Martin, KTC in Lafayette. Natalie, just going back and kind of reflecting, it hasn't been much time, but just looking back at your career and how it's kind of come together here, just how do you reflect on this season and what this has done for the program, considering what people thought would happen this year?
I mean, I've said it all along that this team is special, and we got together in the beginning and we decided to take a risk that we were gonna, all 27 of us, go all in every pitch, and that we were gonna compete. But not only compete, but we were going to compete for each other and that we were going to fight for each other, and we did that. I think that's what makes this season and this team so special is that we stay together as a team, and you know we have a very strong bond as a sisterhood, and looking back, that's just what makes it so special.
Jacob Unruh with the Oklahoman. Christina, in the 5th and 6th inning, you were noticeably on the field trying to cheer on the offense and things. Talk about what you were telling the batters at the time, and you know, with the offense struggling, it's not normal for you. Was there any frustration setting in for you in the circle?
She was talking to the hitters? Man, that was a problem.
I think your back was turned so you didn't see. I don't really feel like there was any frustration. I mean, I trust my hitters and I trust my defense, and I knew they were going to get the job done. So, I mean, I was just talking to him, goofing around like I always do, not really saying anything specific, just telling him that Coach Mike's crazy and just hit the ball, you know?
Coach, the team just struggled with runners on bases. Just tell me first off what happened. I mean, was there a certain strategy that just didn't work for you guys? And also just talk about when you had bases loaded with one out. It seemed like you guys that was your best opportunity to get a run and you couldn't get it in. Just tell me about what happened with that.
Now, you follow this team all year. I mean, seriously, right? You have watched this team play all year long. And we played a 3-game series against Oklahoma. And against the same pitcher, the same moments, and the same time. And you're talking about 0.4 of a second. You're talking about some of those balls missed by 1/4 of an inch. I mean, it's not fair. It's not the skill of the sport and the execution of the sport. It's not fair to expect these kids on the biggest stage and the biggest moment want to do their best. I mean, there's no question about it. And our game is not geared for calling a timeout and running the ball off tackle, and you're stronger than them and you run over them, or you call timeout and you feed a play into the post guy because he's got a mismatch and he makes the shot. It's not how our sport works. 1/4 of an inch, fraction of a second, an inch here, a pitch here. We never got in our rhythm, but we weren't like miserably off. It was a 1/4 of an inch here, it was a fraction of a second here. Our kids competed. We got some good teams here, and it's more times than not you're playing a tough sport. I'm proud of my kids, and we're not gonna go back, and I'm gonna let y'all do that. Y'all can figure out what happened and put labels on whoever and who did this and who did that. I know what I saw. I know how hard they worked. I know how hard they prepared, and I know how good this team is. I know how hard they fight. That's the story to me, what that kid just said about this team. And if you don't watch them in the fall, some of y'all in there watched them in the fall where we look like the Bad News Bears, couldn't throw and catch, couldn't hit balls, and for them to end up where they've ended up has taken an incredible amount of hard work and sacrifice. These kids have passion. They have love of the sport. They have love of each other, and we played it hard. And there's nothing wrong with saying you came up short. Like she said, we got in the arena and we decided to take a risk, and we came up short.
With obviously, like you said, getting here, bouncing off of that, you have a good group of players that are also returning. I mean, just talk about first I'll talk about obviously the core group of seniors that are going to be leaving you guys, but also talk about the group of players that you have returning as well.
And then, that's the next fallacy that goes out there. Last year at this point, maybe who was sitting there? The Washington Huskies were sitting there, and they had no upperclassmen on their team. And everybody said, oh, they're going to, because they're here, they're just going to come back over and over and over. It's just this assumption, because you have a young team, that you're going to come back here and do it over and over. Ball. it's a bad assumption. These kids are going to have to, it's going to be some people leaving, some coming in. And that group of kids are going to have to figure out how they form relationships together. Going to have to get some breaks. They're going to have to develop relationships. They're going to have to go back to the base of the mountain and get back to work. You don't get here just because you were here the year before. In fact, in most sports, it's harder to come back and it's harder to repeat. And that's a tough journey because of the emotional energy that these kids expend. So next year, we need to go fishing for a couple of weeks before we recommit to that journey and start coordinating them again.
This is for Lexi, and for Christine. Just seemed like after the first couple runs they put on the board, you settled in, and it seemed like you did a nice job, navigating around some trouble when you did get in. What was different in terms of what you all saw out today in terms of, executing pitches or doing a nice job, kind of working around the edges and making them have to adjust and kind of stay off kilter a little bit until the seventh inning?
What was different from what?
From against Kentucky.
I feel like we came out more aggressive this game and attacking spots a little bit better, just a little bit, not really a whole lot, but definitely more aggressive towards batters. And Coach Mike came and talked to me in the middle of one inning and was like, "Look, you don't have to be perfect. Like, we ain't been perfect all year. Like, calm down and play free." And really after that, it was a lot easier to settle down and chillax.
First of all, Jeff Horchak, KLFY 103.7 The Game. Congratulations on a great year, ladies. I wanted to get each one of you to kind of weigh in on the ride that was this year and just kind of give us a feel for, if you enjoyed it.
Natalie, you can start.
I mean, yeah, we enjoyed it. I'm just gonna go back to the sisterhood talk. I mean, that's what this journey has taught me the most about just sticking with your sisters through the good and the bad. We've gone through adversity this season that some outsiders didn't see and didn't even know of, but we got through it together. And I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm gonna take from this experience is the chemistry that this team has, and not just this team, all my seasons in the past, but I mean, this season has been so special, and I'm just going to keep saying that. So.
Yeah, I think one of the most notable things is how mentally tough we are and all the adversity we faced. We got at the beginning. I mean, everybody was there with open arms and was willing to help me. So I think it kind of rubbed off on everybody. Everybody was there for each other. And we all had faith in each other the entire year.
It was an exciting and eventful year. I think whenever you get a group of girls together that's special like this, who really bond and who really fight for each other, truly fight for each other, and go through the struggles that we've been through and overcome it and get stronger as a group, it's an exciting journey to be on. And I'm so glad that I got to go on this journey with this group of girls, because I really wouldn't want to be on it with anybody else. And I mean, I don't really know just to say, you're going to miss the seniors who are here influencing us, but hopefully, the girls who are here learn from them and can influence the girls next year. But this year it was just amazing. It was special.
This is for Lexi and Christina, kind of piggybacking up all the questions and kind of Mike's point of, you don't know if you'll get back here, and you don't know what conditions will go into it. What can you take away? What little pieces of the past couple days here, whether it's how you prepare or just the stuff around the games here, what can you take away that you feel like will linger on through the offseason to, give you guys something to build off of when you do have to come back and try and make this all work again next fall?
Coach Mark was talking to us after the game, and he was talking about how last year it stung, but he got over it, and this year it's going to sting, and it is going to sting this year. So thinking about it's going to be hard, but eventually we're going to come to a point where we're going to sit there and we're going to think about it, and we're not going to think about it in a negative manner. We're going to take the struggles that we went through. We wouldn't put ourselves up on a stage, and we were just shown like what we need to work on. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, we're going to take it and we're going to learn from it. We're going to grow. And next year, you know, we're going to use this to get better. You know.
All right. Thanks, everybody.